Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cryptocurrency Bull Market Watch. This is a live stream at 5 p.m. Central Time almost every day. And recently it has been a test of patience to be on the Bull Market Watch. Let me tell you, and I probably don't have to tell you, you probably already know that. Let me switch to this second view here. And there is the price of Bitcoin over the last little bit. This is the 5-minute bars, just the last day and a half maybe. And it's been on its way down. If I zoom out a little bit, we were making I posted a thing at about 9:30 in the morning the other day saying this looks like a bear flag, and right away prices started dropping. We started to see all those millions of dollars of long positions being liquidated. Millions. It's crazy, amazing to me to see that. And I still watch the significant trades ticker on one of my screens here. It's always up and I'm always watching it. And super keen, of course, as everybody else, to see what the price of Bitcoin does. And if I still have my own bias by the way I'm looking at it, but I got to recognize that it's not looking good. We've got this massive descending wedge triangle, and typically in most markets, if you look at a descending wedge triangle, it is a bad signal, bad for bulls. And I want to bring up another descending wedge triangle in a chart that actually looks like a cryptocurrency, but it's not. So let me drag this over, stick it in here. So if we take a look at this descending wedge triangle here, we can see what happened afterwards. Prices dropped off hard. And then we have another descending wedge triangle. And prices have dropped from there as well. So the descending wedge triangle is generally not good news for bulls. And of course, we're doing the bull market watch. And we're watching all of the cryptocurrencies to see when does the bull market start. And we're doing this methodically by starting out way back in September, and systematically every single day we're asking the same question of all the markets on Poloniex. Is it breaking the downtrend line, breaking out of the bottom formation, and the moving average is crossing over? If all three of those things are happening, then it's very likely that the bull market is starting, and especially more likely if all of that is happening across many different markets at once. And so part of the study is to go through and tally up how many markets are looking positive, either they've given a buy signal or they're looking like they may give a buy signal, how many are neutral, so they're sort of floating in between a buy signal and a sell signal, and those that are negative, those that are looking like they're breaking down to new lows and actually giving a sell signal. And in many of the cryptocurrencies, we can't go short. There are no leveraged markets for many of them. So I'd like to say hello to Joseph. Thanks again for being here. And for Boris Boulevard. Hey Boris, great lessons. I've been watching your other videos. Thank you, I appreciate that. I think this is a great opportunity. Elapsed time, 1 hour. I don't know. I think this is a great opportunity to share this kind of approach to the markets, because it is such an important time in the cryptos. Even in Bitcoin here, let me clear that little flag out. I'm watching for the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And I also have to be aware that should it break below these levels, it's probably a good idea that I go short in the market. And I hate it, but that's not the point of trading, is to love or hate. It's to take those trading signals and act on them. The one thing that gives me confidence is this break of this downtrend line when we go across all of the recent highs all the way along there. And if I take my time and do it properly, it still works out pretty good to this. When we zoom in, and we zoom in again, let me do this more properly. Zoom back out, put this right along these tops, top, top, top. Get it right along this top here, and then straighten it all the way out. It actually crosses, and agree with me here, am I doing this down trend line correctly? If you're a trend line follower, you've done trend lines before. You see I'm going along the tops and hitting the tops all the way down. And if I did that, then what we are seeing here is that this downtrend line has now become support. So I can get rid of this one. And the downtrend line has actually become support. So if that is the case, then we are still in no trouble here. Not a problem. This is a normal, natural retrace, and probably, with all those liquidations we saw, it's just too tempting for those automated bots that see all of these traders getting justifiably excited. It's breaking out of this bottom formation. Things are looking great. The moving average was close to breaking, but then we have so many longs that are over leveraged with on BitMEX or something, and they have their stop losses too close to the market. And so they're doing 100 times leverage or what have you, and they're getting liquidated. They're getting liquidated all the way down here. So hopefully there's been enough of them liquidated that the bots are happy and they've taken all the profits that they can scoop up, and they see that they can't push it down much further without exponentially greater amounts of money. This is my hope anyway. And if that's the case, then these trend lines are all good. This is just a normal little move in the market. And so now I want to see overall, always, over and over, whenever I see a big move in the market, Ed asks, do I have an opinion about Tyler's hyperwave thesis, where he's in the opinion that we're likely headed down to the wave 2 area below $3,000? Well, if we zoom out to the 1 year view, pull this back a little bit, $3,000 level would be quite plausible, because it's down by the support and resistance where we see back in the past it was strong resistance for quite a while there, and then prices broke up and it became support. So that area has a lot of emotional investment in it. And technically, I bet you if you do the Fibonacci retracements or the Fibonacci extensions or whatever they call them, however you use it, it looks like a good spot in the chart for sure. And I can't argue against him. And it's one of the reasons that it's probably a good idea to be ready to be short if this thing that I'm just observing fails. So if we zoom in on this and we say, oh, look, this is support, and this has got 3 higher lows, and it's making a bottom formation, potential bottom formation. It's all good. It's, the world's wonderful. I think Tone Vase is also talking about the idea to go short below $6,000, just because of the support and resistance level all along here. And if it does confirm below that level, it's pretty good idea to be taking on a short position. And no matter what position you're taking, you always have to assume that you are wrong and take off your position if it doesn't prove you correct. Because, of course, right here it looked fantastic that prices were going to be going down. And if you had taken a short position there, then you get wrecked. There's all the liquidations going the other side. Then if you take a long position here, you get wrecked. All the liquidations going the other way. The bots have a heyday. And traders who do not have a good risk control method get killed. So let me go back to this chart on silver and take a look at what happened in that. Like this is a big market, and it got hammered down out of these same technical levels. If we were to zoom in on this and change the time scale so that it's not a 1 month chart, but it's a daily chart or a weekly chart, then we can see that this descending wedge triangle took quite a while to build up. Not as significant as what we are seeing in Bitcoin here. If we are looking at this market and how long this took to take, it didn't squish down the same way that Bitcoin has, and we don't see as long of time laying at those low levels like we're seeing with Bitcoin. So hopefully it's a reversal. Hopefully, because if it is a reversal, then all of the altcoins are going to go up. If it's not, all of the altcoins are going to take a punishing. We may be so closely zoned in on daily metrics that we're not zoomed out to see the bigger picture. That's right, parabolic nudes need some time to digest. I'm hearing it's a very high risk to leave cryptos on an exchange. It may be that exchanges may get hacked and you may lose your funds. It's happened in a few different cases. But I am far too lazy to, and maybe a little technically unskilled, to take all of my cryptos off the exchange onto a wallet and then put them all from the wallet back onto the exchange in order to finish my trade. So virtually all of my cryptos are on an exchange, except that I do have a range of them on paper wallets in the safety deposit box in the bank. And those ones, I don't have the private key. I don't have any access to it. It would have to be some real emergency for me to go and cash those out. And those are my hold for 3 to 5 years coins. And a whole range of different coins. I printed out all the paper wallets I could, and then I sent out things from the exchanges onto those wallets. As you can see here on the screen, there is right now a 25% off sale on the book, The Simple Trading Plan, which is now listed on Amazon Kindle. If you want to go and find it there, you can purchase it. So if this 25% off coupon is only good for maybe the rest of today, and then it turns off, and I won't be putting a sale back on this book, maybe not for the rest of the year. What I'm doing is I'm preparing my course again based on this trading plan, and it's a very personalized course where we go through much more detail than what I'm doing in these free videos. Really specific, and a lot more information that comes along with it. So this is the last day to get the coupon on the book. There's a bunch of bonuses that go along with it. You get some extra places in our Discord chat that are private. You get the weekly voice chat on Discord, so it's a conversation back and forth rather than me talking and you get to do a text chat. It's actual voice chat back and forth. And I publish some of those conversations on our SoundCloud channel as well, and they're really great. It's fantastic conversations. There's also a couple other spreadsheets you get a hold of so that you can see my Binance portfolio. You can see more details than my top 7. There's actually a new spreadsheet on the best low cap coins on Binance under 50 cents and the best high cap coins on Binance under 50 cents. And there's an enormous amount of data and research done on all of these coins so that you can just quickly pick and see what might be the best, and we track those over time. Ed, great to have you here. Nice timing, classic truck listening. Hey, Brent, good to have you along. Drive carefully while you're going. All right, so what we're going to do now in this bull market watch is, because Bitcoin's done any kind of big move, I just want to go through all of the cryptos again, and I want to do the analysis. I want to see, is the price of Bitcoin coming down actually affecting the bottom formations in all of these cryptocurrencies? If it is, I want to know it. I don't want it to be that way, but I want to know if it is. So I'm going to pull this spreadsheet off to the side so that I can go more quickly back and forth from one screen to the next. And then we'll start the process. We'll go over here to, well, what a mess that chart is. We'll go over here to Ardor and zoom in on the 3-month view. So we're looking at the 12-hour bars. We're seeing some support here. It's hanging pretty steady, but it still was a cold fish. It was already, we identified that it was a buy signal, and then it turned into a cold fish, which means to get out. One more thing before I put this off to the side. Another thing I'm going to add to this spreadsheet is the profit and losses, successes of this simple trading plan that we're doing here publicly. So every time it turns green, we have a green, that's the buy signal. I'm going to go through this and write in the highest price for that day. So if we did buy that day, we got it at the highest price, the worst price that we could get at that day. And then I'm going to go through, and wherever that green turns to blue, I'm going to take the lowest price on that day, and that'll be our exit point on that trade. And I'll go through all of these and come up with a specific data on what the trades are. Now, anything that is just a red, of course, we didn't buy it. Anything that was a yellow, we didn't buy it. Anything that's orange, we didn't buy it. And so all of those ones, we can see that there was no action taken on those coins. And so I'll do a hypothetical portfolio of, if you had taken these trades, this is what it might have done for you. And we'll just go through and have that data. And I've set up a new spot in our Discord chat. So it will have our winning trades here, the success and failure of the simple trading plan trading signals gathered on our bull market watch spreadsheet. So if you're in our Discord, I'd recommend that you do. I've got the spreadsheet here so that you can easily have access to it. And you can see there's a private trading journal area and the private voice chat that is just for people who have purchased the book or the course in the past. Because the course always comes with a full lifetime membership, so you can take the course over and over again every time I offer it. And there's been more than 2,000 people from over 70 countries around the world have taken these free and paid courses on my website. And I think it's fantastic. I think it's amazing, actually, what the internet opens up for you to do. All right, so we're at 18 minutes now. Let's start rocking and rolling. This was a neutral, and I'm going to leave it as that. Now, I'm certain that when we go to BAT coin, basic attention token, according to the simple trading plan, there's nothing to do yet. Even though it's retraced this much back, there's nothing to do in this trade. We are really looking for longer term holds in these trades. And so that means that you've got to be ready to let some of your profits evaporate and only count this much profit in this whole trade, even though it's gone from 29 or 3,000 Satoshi to 6,000, it's doubled your money. In our trading system, we're looking for much greater than that, and we're willing to wait for it because we're using money that we don't need. We're using extra money. We're not using any money that we need for our rent or for our food or for any of our bills. This is extra money. Even if it's just $100, it's important to only use risk capital money so that you can afford to lose it and it's okay. It's not going to actually affect your life negatively. Then you can leave it there without emotion and let it take its time so that your money is working for you. So this is an interesting perspective. Another thing that I want to point out is the other strategy we're talking about here is the popcorn trading strategy, which is to layer out a portion of the purchase that you made here, layer out a portion of that up to extreme levels, and if it does pump up and come back down, then you make some profits off of it. And I don't have the other spreadsheet open to pull that up to show where I made popcorn profits on this basic attention token trade, and I've already reinvested it over into mana, which has also gone up. But the simple trading plan would say there's still nothing to do. This is fine. It's normal for the prices to do that. And so I will leave that as a buy signal in our spreadsheet. BNT. The BNT on Poloniex is not a good chart. So I'll go over to Bitfinex, and we see that it's very nice looking chart, but not a buy signal yet. It had some real good run up here. We had a nice move, but it's still not a buy signal according to the simple trading plan. So it remains neutral. Nothing going on there. Now I got to jump back to Poloniex for Bitcoin Cash. And I'm going to clean off all of this stuff I had on the chart. Oh, I should have zoomed in more before I did that. Because we were, 1 second here. All of those circles and everything were from the other day when we were identifying this right shoulder, the head, and the left shoulder, and sure enough, prices have broken down below that. So there was our exit signal. If you were trading close to the market, that was our exit signal there. According to the simple trading plan though, we're still giving this lots of room. We got the buy signal, and it was on this moving average crossover, so we'd have to find the highest price of that day, which is kind of a bummer. According to our hypothetical trades, to see how this would work if you were actually to trade it this way. And there's no guarantees that all of these will make profit for sure, but we'll just write it in there. So November the 6th was the entry day, and I'll go through and fill that out afterwards. And now the moving average has crossed over, and we're still sitting on this. We're trying to catch a long-term trend. And so this actually, I'm anticipating this trade may turn into a loss according to the simple trading plan. And we'll see how that plays out over time. Next is BCN, which I had marked as an alert. And I don't know why those are out of order. BNT should be in a different place, not right where it is alphabetically. So I put this as an alert because this is making its own new bottom formation here. And I want to watch it because if it goes, it's probably going to go quickly. So I'll leave it as an alert, but it's not a buy signal, not for a while yet. BTC had it marked as an alert because on the 3-month view, we had the break of the downtrend line already. We were talking about that earlier. We have a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It was right on the edge of breaking out, and the moving averages were touching each other but hadn't crossed. And so it was marked as an alert, and it's still so close to the moving averages and our bottom formation that I'm going to leave it marked as an alert to stay wary with it. Back to Poloniex, and the next one is BitShares. And BitShares was marked as a near fail. It is at the absolute edge of where it can be now. Actually, it's down below the edge. It actually could still go a little bit further to come down to these levels here. So I'll leave it marked as a near fail, but that's pushing the edge of judgment on that. It may be a fail. Decreed. No. Burst is next. Burst is showing some move up. It was as a near fail here, and it's given a little bit of a tick upwards in the short term, which is good, but still not enough to pull it up out of the near fail range. I'm going to leave it marked as near fail. Then Clam was next. It had pulled itself off the fail list, and we see here that there is a bowl shape with a little dip down, which may be a cup in handle, and I'm going to leave it marked as neutral, but it's actually pretty close to being an alert. If it breaks above these levels, it's broken above its own 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, a new one, and it would be a buy signal from these ranges down here. And this is at the lowest it's been in its whole history. There's still lots of room for it to go down, but okay. And we see another one here, Civic Coin. It was a buy signal earlier. The price has come up and it's pulled back a little bit, but it hasn't come back down to being a near fail. It still holds on to its buy signal status. So again, there's another market where you buy and there's nothing to do. You just have to give it time and wait for it. And we'll see if over the next couple of weeks this turns into a cold fish and we get out at a very small profit, or what actually happens with it. I love doing the studies because it's real. This is not some fiction. Then we have Dash, which is in a larger sense starting to make a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. In the smaller sense, if you had zoomed into the 4-hour bars, this is a little wee 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and could have been a buy signal right there. I left it as not a buy signal but an alert, and it never did get a buy signal in the chart. I'm going to leave it as neutral and not doing anything. Decreed was a buy signal earlier, and it has pulled back. Let me turn off that 200 period moving average. Where was our buy signal? I got to look back on this now. Our buy signal originally was October the 5th, and there was an add-on temporarily. So October the 5th was the buy. Still holding on to that trade in the spreadsheet. And so there's, again, every one of these things has variability in how you end up going about it, because it had made an add-on signal, broken out to great heights when it was listed on Binance, and then it's pulled back and the moving averages have crossed over for that entry. Oh, I'm looking at the 4-hour bars. Okay, that's why. This is why. It's actually just coming down to they did cross over. The 12-hour bar moving averages actually did cross over. It's right on the edge, and so there's a little bit of judgment there. Would you say this is a get out or not? And if we zoom into the 1 week view, we can see that if you had gotten out, then you'd be regretting it, because it's really started to pump back up again. So this wasn't really on the edge, and there's got to be a way I can mark that so that we can go back and comment on that over time. Digibyte. Digibyte's a disappointment to me. It's been on the edge of a near fail and off, and on the edge of a near fail and off for quite some time. And I'm going to have to actually mark it as a fail here, because it's come down below these levels too much. It's still above what, June levels, but it's broken below August 13th, it's broken below September the 12th, it's below October the 11th. So I'm going to mark it as a fail, a full-on fail, which is a disappointment to me. I was really anticipating that one was going to do something much different. If we look at the long-term view here, I was seeing a large triangle shape and higher lows all the way along, while all the other cryptocurrencies were showing lower lows. This was holding at higher lows all the way until we started making the bottom formation every place else, and now this has failed its bottom and broken down. So got to mark it as a fail. It never did turn into a buy signal according to the simple trading plan. It never did get that juice, which is also a really good thing about the simple trading plan, is to notice how many of these markets that didn't give us a signal and we were protected from getting into them. EOS is one that is shaping up but not giving us a signal at all. It's still neutral. Ethereum Classic was a fail. Oops. So back to Poloniex. Ethereum Classic. It was a fail. And Todd asks if I could do Digitex futures. Is Digitex futures something on CoinMarketCap, or is that like a commodities futures contract? Digitex futures, it is on CoinMarketCap. And markets, it is trading on HitBTC under the DGTX. DGTX. It's on Coin Signals as well. Well, for my own part, I can't do anything with this, and this massive skewer to the downside takes me out. It's 1 month view, so we're looking at the 4-hour bars. It's brand new. It was listed somewhere on the 30th of October, and it's still in a downtrend. For my own part, I've never invested in ICOs. Actually, that's not the truth. I invested in Lisk as an ICO, and I was so new to trading everything that I didn't keep the information on how to access my wallet. And so I do have some Lisk that I can't access, and there was several hundred of them. And after that, I didn't invest in any ICOs because when they were listed on an exchange, I could see over and over again that they would just plummet down, and then they would go along for a while before the project is actually up and working. And that's when I sort of look to buy in, is after it's had time to flatten out on the charts, and this hasn't had enough time. So I can't recommend it. I don't know anything about it. This is where you would come into the other way of doing trading, which is to see if this coin actually solves a problem, see if there's a community behind this coin, and then find out who the founders are and who the development team is, and get to know their resumes and see if this gives you confidence in the development of the coin. It's overheated, but recommend checking that project. Awesome. And I like having these tips come up because this is where I learned tons from doing these videos. I learned tons. There's lots of things that there's too much to know about. And when I get a tip like that and we get to record it on the video, it's there for everybody. I love it. I appreciate that. Now, Ethereum Classic, we were talking about having been a fail. Whoops, what did I just do? Oh, there we go. So back to Poloniex, down to Ethereum Classic chart, zoom out to the 3-month view. Hey, it's making its own little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation there. It's got some potential to do something. So it's not a fail anymore. It's neutral in the spreadsheet. And if it breaks above these levels, that would wake it up. Especially if it takes some charge and it breaks above these levels, that would be waking this up. I don't know, but not as fail as it was before. Ethereum was marked as an alert. Ready Set Crypto did a video a month or two about it. There are lots of great channels that are doing fundamental analysis, and I don't watch any of them. I spend too much time doing this technical analysis. Now, Ethereum has the moving averages cross over. Even though it's pulled back a little bit today with this dip in Bitcoin, the moving averages have crossed over. So it's making a very nice, what's the triangle that's even on both sides? It's not a descending wedge triangle. It's not an ascending wedge triangle. There's a name for that triangle that it's closing in from both sides. Is that isosceles comes up to my, I don't know my triangle names anymore. But I'll leave this marked as an alert in our spreadsheet so that it's something that we'll keep an eye on more closely. Now, Factum is the next one, and I think somebody needs to give Factum a direction chart or a direction map, because it's just faded off a little bit here today. And it's building up, it's looking great, that's coming together. The moving averages crossed over, but we didn't get a break above the number 2 point. And so it wasn't a buy signal yet. It was not even an alert the last few days, actually. And now it's fading off a bit. So it's not down to a near fail condition. It's just now still in the middle of this triangle and teasing things out longer. So it's marked as nothing doing, just neutral. Game credits last time was a fail. Still a fail. Gas. I like this market. I like this chart. I like what it's done in the past. But nothing going on here. Move along. GNT. Also another coin that I like. I like the project. This is one that I've learned about over time. Tizen did a really good article on it, or a video or something, and since then I've really liked it. Even though I didn't like when it was going down like this, now that it's made a bottom formation, it's warmed up. It gave us a buy signal. It's still holding that buy signal, even though it's come back and retested these areas. I skipped Dogecoin. How'd that happen? I did. Dogecoin. Thank you, Henry. I appreciate that. Well, Dogecoin, I was marked as a fail in the spreadsheet last time, and I marked it as a fail in the spreadsheet this time. I don't know why it's marked in the spreadsheet already. So I marked it as a fail. It's actually come below this little internal 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And it's not a permanent fail. It'll redo itself. And it's got some time, it's got some space to go down here. But the trading signal didn't get written in properly because it wasn't until September the 24th that I started to do this report where I was doing the daily reports on where all the markets are. So this was already moved. It had already taken off. It was already way up there. And I had already been taking my profits on this. And I was lending on Poloniex. And the interest rates in this period right here, the interest rates were over 4% per day. So I made thousands and thousands of Dogecoin profit as prices were going up because I was lending. And then as prices came up to the top here, the lending rates dropped down and the price made a top formation. It was time to get out. So I did really well on my Dogecoin trade, and it's too bad it wasn't part of this data that I can't have that as one of our trades inside the listing on our winning trades inside our Discord chat. They'll all be updated there from the spreadsheet so that we can really tell over time how this trading system works. I know it works, and this methodology is going to systematically, publicly prove it out. Now we're on to Hunter Coin, which is actually coming up to an alert from this formation here and giving a little bit of strength. This one has the ability to really move, and so I don't want to be late on the alert on this one. I want to put that in there so that we're watching it. And then we can do some data on the trades that went from alert to buy and how long did that take, and on and on. Now we're on to library credit, and it's making a pretty nice developed 1, 2, 3 bottom formation now. Look at that, 1, 2, 3. It's really shaping up. It's taking its time. So this is a bottom from October the 10th, and now we're a month later and it's still inside that bottom formation. I like it even more. And I skipped Kyber network. So I will mark library credits as an alert. It remains an alert because it was an alert last time. And I'll go to Binance and take a look at the Kyber network now. It was marked as a cold fish. So we got this buy signal out of this bottom formation. It gave a pump up here. Maybe some of your popcorn moves might have caught that, but mine wouldn't have. I would have put it up higher than that. I would have put my orders up in this area, just below obvious support and resistance levels. That's where I would put my popcorn sell orders. And then probably in this area, and then just below that area, and then up in this area. That's where my popcorn orders would be sitting. And then there's nothing for me to do but wait, and sometimes for months, and just hold on to it. But it would have, this is telling me to get out of the market. And who knows if the bull market is not coming and we're going to go on a continued downtrend. I don't want to be holding this stuff as a bag holder. Coin Paprika is a new replacement of Coin Market Cap. Yes, Coin Paprika is an awesome site. I agree. And I appreciate you sharing that here, Professor Wally. All right, we're up to more people on the stream watching. Give me a hello in the stream, everybody. I want to know where in the world are you from? And if you've tuned into this stream before and you're appreciating this data, firmly press on that like button because it gets the word out, helps build the audience. And if it's helpful to you, I would like to be able to help more people, and you give me a hand by clicking on that like button. The word gets out to more and more people. And there's enough profit here for all of us. There's enough that we can all make money. Andrew Williams from the Netherlands, great to see you here again. Thank you very much. I appreciate you showing up. And if you're back more than once, then I really am loving it even better. Loom. JJK Loom. Miami, Florida. Been watching for a year. Thank you, Henry. That's awesome. Loom, we said it was a buy signal. It made a top formation, and the other day I marked it as a cold fish. Boris, you're from Texas, but in Romania. That's awesome. I think Romania is a little colder than Texas right now. I think Romania is similar to what we are here in Canada right now. Chilly weather there, winter setting in. So Loom, I'm going to still mark it as a cold fish. And for my own risk tolerance level, I probably wouldn't have gotten out of this trade if I'd bought in at these levels here on this breakout, or even on this breakout here. I would sweat it out and leave this trade on, because it's happened to me so many times that it seems to me it's like a video game where you get right to the edge of the road as you're driving your car, but you don't give up, and then things come back. The cryptos seem to go right to that edge all the time. Not bad weather yet. If we get snow on the ground here, it's kind of slippery out. And if you don't have winter tires on your car, it's much more treacherous. And so for my own part, I've learned to, with these trades, as they're coming right to the edge, I let it go past the edge a little bit. It's sort of like waiting for all three confirmation signals of the simple trading plan. I don't want to buy in early. Often I lose money when I do that. If I wait for all three things to confirm and the trend is actually changing direction, I have a much better chance of success with it. And even then, I let it come back and retest the number 2 point when it's done a breakout. So list, I like that it's hit this bottom and held this all this time. If we go out to the 1 year view, it's right on the edge. Here's another one that's, it's come down here, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th time over all the time that we have in the charts here. And so a swing trader would be favoring these levels. When it comes down and it's got support and it's come down, and this would be a swing trader's entry. And it's also making a little wee descending wedge triangle, but kind of a bottom formation here. So it may be one of the springboard trades. And if it was, then I would have to look for some confirmation in the RSI. And confirmation for the RSI would be a divergence from the price chart pattern. And so we see here, I'll get rid of this. We've got the prices going flat and the RSI showing a little bit of strength out of this oversold territory. And that's a divergence that is significant, and we'll watch this over time. So I'll leave this as neutral, but it would quickly turn into an alert if this is turning around and pumping up out of here. Litecoin. So we got more people tuning in, and so I'll ask the same thing again. If you haven't already, say a word in the chat. Let us know where in the world you're from. And if you've tuned into this before and you're enjoying these analysis and you find this different than what other people are doing, push firmly on that like button and help get the word out about this channel. Let's build the audience. If you haven't already, come and join us on Discord. There's a link below the video where you can come and join us on Discord. And we have a question on Discord where Old Scott is asking, I wonder if the dollar strength is hurting crypto. How do the crypto prices stack up against the Canadian dollar or the US dollar? I don't know. If the dollar is giving strength, does that push down the cryptos? Does anybody have any ideas on that? Ready, Set Crypto. Know their stuff and the production value is super high. I'll have to check out Ready, Set Crypto as well. So Litecoin is still within these ranges, and we drew out these lines beforehand. And if we zoom in on this, it's amazing how it came up and touched that line and is back to touch this line, but not broken down to new lows, where Bitcoin is threatening its lows much more significantly. Pretty cool. So we'll watch this over time, but right now Litecoin is just neutral, not a buy or a sell or anything, just sort of floating in the middle. So Professor Wally says, I think when the dollar is strong, the crypto purchases would boom as well, since discretionary purchases would go up. I don't know. We got a buy signal in MadeSafe coin. I was delaying saying it's a buy signal for a while, and I'm going to have to say it's a buy signal now that it's broken above these levels. And there was also a different chart one of the guys shared, coinsignals.trade. Coinsignals.trade. Let me put this in the chat. It's a great resource. It's got a whole bunch of different charts, and they're based on the prices from CoinMarketCap. And so I was looking at MadeSafe coin. It's one of my larger holdings. I'm a long-time bag holder, and so this is making me feel good to see it coming up a little bit. But I had not seen this big candle wick on Poloniex. I didn't see it there. And so when I saw this on this chart, I thought, whoa, that is awesome to see a massive pre-pump candle like that. A massive pre-pump candle coming in like that. And it wasn't showing up on Poloniex. And so I went and I did some looking around on HitBTC, Made versus Bitcoin. There it is. There's our pre-pump candle. And Cointopia, Cryptopia, also has some more pre-pump candles. There's not as much volume of trading here, so when somebody buys, that pushes the prices way up. So MadeSafe coin is looking much better when I see all these different charts and these different exchanges doing much bigger trades and bigger move trades. That pushes MadeSafe coin into a buy signal here on our simple trading plan spreadsheet, which I have to find again now. Where'd you go? There we go. Buy signal. Yes. Yes. If the dollar is rising, it's likely that the other currencies would be falling. Holding non-dollar would be looking at hedge and may go into crypto. Hopefully they go into gold and silver as well. I got some of that in the safety deposit box in the bank. It'd be great to have those prices go up. That's part of what I did with some of my crypto profits last January of 2018. So Mana was a buy signal earlier, and it gave us a little bit of a pump here. I get tons of pumps on Cryptopia, even though the volume is very low. Keep my stuff monitoring coins over there. Lots of pump groups seem to use that place for their pumps. Well then, this would be a time to use the popcorn trading strategy over there, because it was designed to take advantage and be prepared for pump and dump groups. The popcorn trading strategy is actually designed to take advantage of the pump and dump groups. And so you buy 100 different coins that have been pumped before, you know, however many, and you put a little bit of money in it, and you put your sell orders in way in advance, and then you just go on about your day. So you can benefit from the work of the pump and dump groups, and there's many coins they pump more than once. You can benefit from their work without actually being part of the pump and dump group. You just set out your net, basically. Anyway, this one's a buy signal and turned out really well. So this is a nice to have a buy signal that is more profitable as time goes along. And then Nav coin. Nav. This was a buy signal earlier. I was wanting it to be an add-on signal, and then it's sort of ranged here and staying within inside this triangle. Could be an add-on signal, but it's still just a buy, just that initial buy that was the only thing done properly. Next we have Namecoin. It was a fail, but look what it's done. It's starting to redeem itself from its fail. It's given a good couple pumps up here. So I've taken it out of the fail category, and it's just neutral until it builds its own bottom formation here, something a little bit more significant. NXT, building its bottom formation. I had set it as an alert when it was showing this strength here, but it's pulled back a bit, and I'll leave it as a neutral coin for right now. OMG was marked as neutral. Still neutral, and it's building its own bottom formation. I like the higher lows here. So it's building a nice bottom formation, and that would be great to see it take off. So I'll leave it as neutral. Omni, which was a fail for a while, has also got 3 higher lows, and it's building its bottom formation. So it remains neutral and not quite close enough yet to call it an alert, but the moving averages are pretty close together. I love to see it. Pascal. It was a buy signal earlier out of this formation here, and it's done well. So as I go through and I'm writing up the spreadsheet on the winning trades from this whole setup here, this is going to be fun to do. PPC. Whoa. Definitely is a buy signal, but kind of unexpectable. And I think I did the same thing yesterday when I looked through this chart, and I was like, whoa. Because you've got to be prepared. When these charts are showing an alert, you've got to be prepared for it. It's just astonishing what this has done here. And that's looking at the 12-hour bars. If we looked at the 1-day bars and saw how this is taken off, I mean the 5-minute bars, here's the 15-minute bars, and it looks like it's pressing to go higher from here. This is an ascending wedge triangle after a big run. Something has changed, something has happened in this coin to make it burst like this out of this formation. Ranging sideways, and then wham, off it went. Let's go see what Quantum is doing now. Three-month view. So it's still a buy signal. The moving average is crossed over. It still holds its buy status, but it is pressing back to retest all those levels. Rep was a buy signal. PPC is doing an airdrop on November the 12th. Okay, so that is important to know. Thank you very much for that, Henry. Because what's the date? The 9th now. So they didn't give much warning before they said they were going to do this airdrop. Everybody just went crazy on it, and now is not the time to buy. Definitely not the time to buy. But it will prove out later that that was a great as a strategy for the popcorn trading strategy. Don't try to figure out which one is going to go. You just get prepared, and then they just take off. You never know. And Steam dollars, I had commented before that I don't really get this chart. It just doesn't seem to be doing anything that I can understand. And now I've closed that other chart. Let me copy that. And one of the guys in our Discord chat put up a note that explained it. And we'll go to Steam dollars versus the Steam dollars and the supply chart of Steam dollars. Drag that down and stick it in here. So here's the supply of Steam dollars. Okay, this chart doesn't quite fit my screen for... Let's do a 1-day chart. Look at the supply of Steam dollars. And the reason the supply changes like this up and down is because it's supposed to be a stable coin. It's supposed to be pegged at $1. And we can see that it doesn't always stay pegged at $1. And when it does go out of the peg, then they produce a whole bunch more to drive the price back down to the $1 level. So watching the supply of that may give insight as to when that's going to pump and dump, but it actually takes it off my list as a coin to trade, because I know it's not going to trend properly, and according to supply and demand, something I can't pay attention to, and I'm never traded it properly because I didn't understand that it was supposed to be a stable coin that wasn't very stable. Sia coin. This one had turned into a cold fish. And a bunch of us in our Discord chat were talking about that on that day, and it remains a cold fish. So I sold mine. A couple of guys in there sold theirs. SNT, I've got to go over to Binance to pull up that SNT chart with enough data. It was a buy signal, and it's pulled back very alarmingly, but the moving averages haven't crossed over. So for some, if you would have bought in at that time when it was breaking out, it immediately turned around and charged back down. So it's pretty demoralizing. But again, you got to trade with a small enough position at the start. Don't put on your whole position. Wait till it proves you correct to add on to your whole position. And the other part of the risk control rules is that when you're first starting out a trade, assume that you are wrong. Assume that it's going to go backwards like this. Assume that it's going to be a fake out breakout, and it's going to be cracking back down. And if you assume that, then you're going to get out of this trade immediately. Professor Wally asks, I forget if you covered it already, and I haven't, BCH ABC and BCH SV. The fork of a fork, I haven't covered it. And no, there's not enough data to use 12-hour bars and a trend on those things at all. Same as Bitcoin Cash, as soon as I got any of it, I sold that stuff. I just sold it, sold it, and sold it, just got rid of it. So SNT is a difficult one. It's a buy signal and moving averages haven't crossed over yet to turn it into a cold fish. But risk control wise, that's a real bummer. From 620 down to 560. That's a pretty good percentage gain, or loss rather, that you're holding as a drawdown. And according to our risk control rules, we shouldn't be holding it at all. As soon as it didn't prove us correct when we put that trade on, we should be getting out of it. Take that loss as quickly as possible. Sometimes within 2 hours, within 12 hours, 24 hours for sure. If it hasn't proven you correct, just close the trade. And if you're trading with a small enough position, it's not going to hurt that much. If you're trading with a big position, then it's much harder to take your loss. And I'm talking to you as much as I'm talking to my own self so that I trade that way. Steam was shaping up, but it's left itself just being neutral, nothing going on there. Move along. Storage coin. It was a buy signal here, and then there was an announcement when that green on this green circle here that they are releasing version 3 of their network, but that's not going out till 2019. It's still 6 weeks or 2 months away. Do you cover in the book why you use the 12-hour candlesticks? You should have received that book as an attachment to the email when I sent out the email announcement about it. But I'll follow up with you, Professor Wally, to be sure that you have that. And I have also added it as a download in the My Account area of intro-to-cryptos.ca. So double check there. It should be available to you in a couple places. Anyway, storage is a buy. It's still holding as a buy. And I did buy more of that already. I've already increased the size of my position on that. STR. This was a buy, and it turned out well. And what's it doing now? Let's zoom into a closer time frame. We've got lower highs, we've got lower in the sort of inconclusive on the RSI. But it's a buy according to the simple trading plan, so we'll keep that marked in the spreadsheet. The next one is Stratus. This was a buy, but the last couple days it's come back. So there was our buy here, maybe even up here, and it's pulled back. So this is another one that I don't like it. And here's where the risk control rules become important, that it's up to your tolerance for risk. Is this okay for you to hold it for this kind of pullback, knowing that it could just be a natural part of the movement or not? But for the simple trading plan, I'm sticking to this this moving average crossover. So it will stay marked as a buy for now. And it may turn into a loss. If that crosses over, it'll certainly be a loss. What are we looking at? Syscoin next. Syscoin is neutral still. Could build up to something, but it's nothing yet. Still waiting for that. This was a buy signal out of this bottom formation. Moving averages crossed over. It came up nicely and pulled back. So some of those other coins have pulled back, but they didn't pull out nicely ahead first. So this stays a buy, and it's a much more comfortable buy because of it's not pulling back below the entry point. VTC. Wow. Still a near fail, but again, it's just laying right along the edge. And it never did give us a buy signal, so that again is the simple trading plan keeping us out of harm's way. This one has been delisted, and then we go into counterparty. It was a buy signal, and it's showing a little bit of strength out of that, so it remains a buy signal. And here's another example of something that I was not expecting it to be a buy signal, but you act on the signal when it comes up, and it's there you go. So XCM, it was an alert earlier. Now I'm going to move it back to neutral and a little bit lower, and it's going to be a near fail. XMR, it was a buy signal out of this area just a couple days ago, right out of this area. It's pulled back and retesting its entry point, but it remains a buy signal because the moving averages haven't crossed over. XPM has been a fail for quite a while. Fail, fail, fail. And then it did this little bit of green and pulled back down. So it remains a fail, but there's something going on there. There's something different has changed in that one. Ripple was a buy signal, and then it was an add-on signal, and it is still holding on to that add-on signal phase. So this is one of the better examples of buying in, let it run, let it come back, and make an internal 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and consolidate, and that's your add-on point. So this is a much better example, and I want to be able to use this kind of example so that I'm waiting to add on until after I have myself in a profit position, and it's proven itself out to hold that profitable position. Now I could put my stop loss down below these areas now that it's moved up for my original position, and I would have my stop loss for the second position could be above this level to protect that money. So the second add-on position, I would be a little bit less risky with it. I would have my stop loss above my entry on that. And for the original position, I'm going to take more risk. I'm going to let this profit work for me and take the time, just leave it for a longer term market move. And I like what it's doing here in this chart. It could be like, that's a great looking position right there. I think it's going to be showing us more strength. Zcash was a buy signal, and look at that. Good thing we noticed it was a buy signal out of this move, and it's given us strength. So there's another one that was a good entry and turned into profit. Hasn't pulled back. So for risk control rules, you can move your stop loss just above your entry if you are really risk adverse, or you could still leave it below your entry point and give this more time. Leave it come back and retest these levels. Depends on your risk control tolerance. This turned into a cold fish last time and still is a cold fish. So this will be interesting to watch over time to see how that plays out, because it was a nice bottom formation. It got listed on Coinbase. We nailed that as an entry a couple days before it was listed on Coinbase, and then it's made this top formation and moving averages have crossed over, and we've taken our profit. So this was a profitable trade, not a great deal. And then we'll watch it over a long period of time to see what actually plays out on that. Did we take our profit too soon? Should we adjust the systematic way we go about this. But so far, this was a very classic, nice trade. And now, for the conclusion, I still have to take this formula and figure out the colors that I'm using, the hexadecimal color for each of those things. Then this formula will actually do this counting for me, and I don't have to do it. We have one add-on to buy. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 buys. Whoa. Alerts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 alerts. Neutral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 neutral coins. Same as last time. Gone cold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time, okay, near fails. 1, 2, 3, 4 still. And fails. 1, 2, 3. We have a Dogecoin turned into a fail in that. 3. Take these formulas, move them over. I counted correctly that time. Then the cool part is to take this and to update it so we see this chart change. What's that? AM. Not much change, but at least it's not going down. So day by day, we get real overall data on how is this actually going. Very awesome. So the next part I'll be doing is to update go through all these green ones and take the price of the coin on the day that it was green. So I'll take the highest price of these days and the highest price of these days, and I will be updating inside our Discord group the profits on these. And that'll be the only place you can get that. Is the list of our winning trades will be in the Discord group. So if you haven't already, there will be incentive for you to come and join us in our Discord group. And the link is below the video. And as a final reminder, the 25 off November 9th coupon will save you 25% off the cost of the book. And that's paying in any one of 140 different 1,040 different cryptocurrencies. Any crypto you think is going down in price, just pay with that coin, and I'll be the bag holder on that. If you pay with Bitcoin, I'm going to use that coin in these investments, and I'll actually show you where I'm investing that Bitcoin. So you get lessons from your fees directly. If you want to pay with fiat, you can go over to Amazon and order that on Amazon Kindle now as well. And the coupon code doesn't work over there. If there's any questions or any other markets you want me to take a look at, now's the time to slip it in there. If you haven't pressed firmly on the like button yet, that would be awesome. If you haven't subscribed, click on the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Yeah, it wasn't actually my idea on the discount. Somebody asked for it yesterday. They said, can you extend the 40% discount? And well, no, the 40% discount was for that pre-launch offer, and that's not coming around again. But I thought, if you ask, okay, I'll put up a 25% discount code for a short period of time, and I won't be putting the discount code up again maybe until the new year. So if you don't get it now and you're not learning this stuff, but as this bull market is just setting up, it's probably going to cost you a lot more than the cost of the book to have missed out. So if you've lost more than $100 in your cryptocurrency trading over time, if you've been a bag holder and your money has gone down more than $100 over time, the book is worth it. the multi-coin part and the investment of the Bitcoin part. Yeah, I I really I don't take any of this lightly at all. I take all of this very, very seriously. I think it's important, and what I try to do is I try to be the actual living example of this trading plan. I'm actually doing it. This isn't something that I'm making up now. This is what I used to churn my money into $500,000 over the 2015 to 2018. Over that period of time, I did fantastic, and it was following exactly this system. So if you purchase the book, you get all sorts of more research and back testing on the last couple bull runs from March to July of 2017, December and January of 2017-18, April and May of 2018, and we go over the back testing of this simple trading plan on those charts, so you can see what kind of profits you would have made if you would have bought in here and sold out there, following along with this simple downtrend, 1, 2, 3 bottom, moving average crossover. It's a real working system. And now it's taking enormous patience to go through this day by day by day by day, but it's going to pay off so fantastically when it does turn out. It's really worth the time to do this stuff. So I do this because it's my own research, and I do it because I get to share this with people from around the world and make a difference in other people's lives. And then it helps me build my cryptocurrency holding by selling the book, by selling the course, and all of that stuff I can put directly into action to show everybody. If you come and take the course and you pay with Bitcoin, I take that Bitcoin and I say, this is exactly what I would trade in, and here's how I would do it. And I reveal it, I share it with everybody in the course. So you get to see my own trading, what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. So you can see my losses and my profits, not just this hypothetical system that I'm demonstrating here on the free stuff. So I could go on all the time, and I love it. I do go on all the time on our Discord chat, and I hope to see you guys there. But for now, I'm going to go get a glass of water and get ready for hot yoga later tonight. Cheers, and all the best in all of your cryptocurrency trading. Let's all get super wealthy together. Bye for now.